So we're back to the second part of our meeting. And this part is mainly for asking questions, telling me what you think about what we've been talking about, and so on and so forth. So one of the things that I've been asked in the past few weeks had to do with things that we've been discussing here and there through the time this show has been on. The question's something like this. So are we supposed to work alone, or are we supposed to get help? Again, this is the the thing that we so often tend to do, as if there is only one way to do things, or there is a right way that suits all. There never is. Certainly, getting help is very, very often a very good idea. You know, why figure it all yourself? Why not have somebody who has a different point of view, help you on the way? Why not be assisted by somebody who has more experience, and so on and so forth, or has all sorts of abilities that you don't have? For example, you need somebody to give you a good massage. Okay, that can be very helpful on the way, and you can't do it to yourself usually. Or you need a good therapist or a teacher, or okay. But just like we were talking in the first part of this meeting, let's go again to the image of the pilot or the driver. And the question is always for me, who is doing the flying or who is doing the driving? Do you put your healer or your teacher or Buddha or Christ or God or your psychiatrist or your guru in the pilot seat of your life, in a way? Or are you the driver and the pilot, and your therapist, for example, or teacher or guru or God is sitting next to you and is helping you along, is teaching you perhaps, is giving you advice, is telling you to be careful here and be aware of that? You know, so yes, getting help is very, very often a good idea, but try to do it when, in a way, you are the one driving your car. Now, sometimes it's very difficult to do that, and sometimes you would still not be able to do that. But it's just something to say, okay, this is what I'm aiming at. I'm not there yet. It's absolutely fine. Right now, I don't know how to drive my car, so I lean more on other people. But I remember that this is where I'm heading, to be the driver of my own car and get help whenever I need it. And of course, this is my point of view. So always ask yourself, even, also when you're listening to me, for example, it's just my opinion. It's just my way of looking at things. And by the way, it can change. I don't think this will change, but everything I think now may be obsolete for me in 10 years. So we have to put everything in perspective, both our thoughts and beliefs and those of others. We'll probably get back to talking about this again and again as this show goes on. Another thing I've been asked, and this was a kind of back and forth thing with one of my students, and I feel that it's okay to share this. Somebody wrote to me, I noticed that during the past few months, suddenly I can't give people compliments anymore. No, and this really bothers me. It's as if I give somebody a compliment, it'll take something away from me. This is new for me. Up till now, it was always very, very easy for me to compliment people. Okay, now take this problem of suddenly not being able to compliment people when before that you could, and you can exchange this problem with anything else. Okay, and notice a few very important things that popped up for me when I read this. This person said, it really bothers me. Okay, what does that mean? It means that this person believes that there's something wrong with that. Okay, something changed in this person's life and there's something wrong. Okay, there's even a kind of complaint here. It used to be easy for me and now it isn't. Okay, so I answered, of course, you can try to do all sorts of things. You know, there are all sorts of ways to work on something like that. But the first thing and the most important thing is to be at peace with the fact that right now, this is the way it is. And this is this ability to accept things and life and yourself as you are right now. And it's absolutely fine that right now you're feeling different than you usually do. And this acceptance always, whatever the problem is always the first stage as far as I'm concerned. Because only when we accept things as they are, we can, do something about it later if we feel that it's necessary. It can be, for example, through doing shamanic journeying or through doing working with sub-personalities and inner selves and parts, through voice dialogue or any other ways that work. But first, you need to accept that that this is the state, the way things are right now, and that including everything that you're feeling right now, all the emotions and thoughts and beliefs that are present for you right now, and all the things that aren't present for you right now, everything is fine, just as it is. Okay? So then this person wrote, but it seems to me that up till now, I could accept this new state more. I realized that it's tiredness and that, I'm really, really depleted right now and tired, and it will come back at some point. But now, as sometimes happens to me, time is up, and what this person meant was that it was okay for a short while, but this is too long now. Okay, so again, I wrote, it seems that there is this clock ticking for you, and if a certain amount of time passes and you're still not finished with it, then there's a problem. Okay, so 2 days is okay, 3 days is not okay. Okay, and I suggested really trusting the process. Okay, which again takes us back to the first part of this meeting. Just trusting more. When you decide that it's time, or time is up for something to happen or to change, or for you to feel differently about things, what you're actually doing is slowing the process and not helping it along. Because what is probably happening is that you're identified with a part, with a self inside you that is saying, 2 days is okay, 3 days is too much. Or that is saying it's not okay to not be able to compliment people, or it's not okay to feel tired, or it's not okay to anything. So this is really a point of view of an inner self that is taking control and taking the stick of the plane or taking the wheel of the car. And if we completely believe it, then we won't be feeling that whatever is right now is okay as it is. And again, what happens is that it becomes more and more difficult to create any change or movement if that's what we really want to do. Because there's a kind of a fighting going on. There's a kind of resistance going on. It's not okay to be as I am. Okay. So, of course, there aren't ever any answers that are always the right answers, that are always the truth. There is no such thing as far as I can see. There's always an answer that is right for now, for this particular moment, for this particular person. And perhaps in a day or so, the answer would be different. So everything we're talking about today and in this series is really a generalization. And what we really need to learn is to be good pilots and good drivers, and to be very mindful pilots and drivers, so we can listen to what's going on inside us and learn the ability to work with it in a creative way as far as possible from unknowing. So not to come with too many agendas naturally, or to come with a lot of theories about how to do what. But really, I think we are aiming little by little, and it takes time, to be so free of our various inner selves and parts, and yet to be with them in peace and harmony, and not through resisting them. And this really frees us in a way from ourselves, while we embrace ourselves. And then flying becomes a sort of very, very natural thing that we can do very calmly, whatever storm we find ourselves in. Whether it's a kind of more inner storm or outer storm, whether there is a plague in the world, whether we have financial problems, whether we have marital problems, whatever is going on, we become better and better pilots. And while we do that, we get help from our inner selves, we can get help from other people, but we become experts of ourselves. Okay, I think this is it for today. I thank you all very, very much for joining me. And thanks a lot. Next week, we'll be meeting with a great, great woman and teacher, with Revital Shtayat. She's going to be joining me for the next part of this series, What Makes Our Inner Work Work. So I'd be really, really glad to see you here next time at 5, Monday, the 14th of September. I think we're in September. Okay, so thanks a lot and see you next week. Bye-bye.